Salam and good morning. This is Mohammad Rehman. I'm the host and the founder of Islamic Television Network, ITN News. The purpose of Islamic Television Network is to create a voice for the Muslims all over the world, but especially Muslims in United States. We shall start our transmission with United States because United States is right now in the limelight of what's happening in the world of Islam. The thing I'm going to start my conversation today is there is a show called the Chris Wallace Show on CNN. I was watching that this morning. The topic on that show was who is going to be the probable vice president nominee of Donald J. Trump, the Republican candidate for the presidential election to be held in November 2024. And the topic was that Kristi Noem admitted to putting down her dog. Nobody cared whether she put down the dog because the dog attacked her. And the dog is only a subject here because everybody felt sad for the dog. 35 to 40,000 Muslims have been eliminated in Gaza. Palestine is burning. 17,000 children have been killed, some without a trace. They cannot even find their bodies. 9,000 women have been killed in this so-called war. A war inflicted on human beings. What I'm trying to say is that the host of clearly one of the best shows in CNN is worried about a dog, while men, women, and children die. And death is not the only thing that's happening. Over 15,000 women, girls, our daughters, our wives, our mothers have been raped by IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, as they call them, under the instructions of none other than Mr. Netanyahu, who is the Prime Minister of Israel today. Some of these women have been raped violently for weeks. Some have lost their voices. Some of them have gone through the sexual harassment in front of their children, in front of their husbands, in front of their parents. And no one is talking about them. It seems that the main media in the United States, which is CNN and Fox, does not care. It almost seems like they're working for a foreign government and towards the benefit of that government and that ideology. And it doesn't matter what the truth is. A journalist is supposed to project and predict both sides of the story. It is true that a factor of terrorism did happen in Israel. It was carried out by some people who call themselves Hamas. Obviously, Hamas has a population of over 2 million. 2 million people did not attack Israel to kidnap 700, 800 or 1,200 people, innocent people from Israel. What happened was wrong. That is terrorism. Absolutely. It should be said that way. And those people who indulged in that activity should be taken to task. But this is not taken to task anyone, when you take out 40,000 people, 17,000 kids between the age of 6 month to 7-year-olds, you carry out 23,000 sorties of bombings on a 23-mile zone, destroy 68,000 buildings, you kill 9,000 women. This was not the way wars were fought. This is not how it should be done. The journalists should be talking about both sides. Whether it is Wolf Blitzer, Jake Tapper, Anderson Cooper, all CNN, it is very sad to see Jesse Waters, Brett Baier, Sean Hannity, and especially Gutfeld. Why I mentioned Gutfeld? Because last week there was an episode of Gutfeld I was watching. The host showed a protest that was happening in New York. And what Gutfeld did is criminal. Let me walk you through it. They showed a young guy, clearly an American white guy, which is fine, whether you're white, black, brown, or doesn't matter, Chinese. We are human beings first. And it showed that that guy approached a few people who were sitting on the side lanes of that protest, Americans. There was a black lady. He went to that lady and said, "Oh, do you support the Hamas or the Palestinians of whatever is happening there?" And she said, "Yes." Because Americans, which I'm an American, I would give my life 20 times over for this country. I love it. We are here. The Muslims in the United States are not going anywhere. We burned our boats when we came here. We belong here, we'll die here, we live here, we pay our taxes here. We do not indulge in terrorism. So the lady said, "Yes, I support them." And he said, "Okay, would you sign this document, please?" Now all this is being recorded. So obviously the guy had a microphone with him, because Gutfeld was clearly his voice and the lady's voice was on the thing. In a general protest, how do you get to one guy? And the microphone was on, obviously. So the lady said, why am I going to sign this document? And what is it? He said, "Oh, it's a document which states that you are okay with the slaughter of Christians and people of the Judaic faith all over the world." Now, do you really think a protest in United States and New York would go around signing that paper? You really think that? Is that what you think Islam is all about? I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. If I was, I would actually take Gutfeld to the court. And I hope there is an attorney out there who is righteous. Whether he is Muslim, whether he is Jewish or Christian. Please do something about this. This is not who we are. This is clearly not what faith tells us to do. To target a people based on their faith, who are 2.53 billion people. There is close to 7 million Muslims in the United States only. And as I said, we are not going anywhere. But with a little guidance, which I hope to carry forward, I think we will make a difference even in the politics of the United States going forward. We are everywhere. And we believe, you know what Islam means? The word Islam means submission to one God, belief in the day of judgment, and being righteous. The Muslims of United States have proven that. 9/11 was not carried out by American Muslims, if at all. There are conspiracy theories, but we have to go with what the world tells us because, we didn't witness it. But the 20 people or 21 people who attacked me, because my wife's distant cousin was on that building, who spoke for the last time with his dad before the phone went silent. There were 279 Muslims in that building when it went down. These people were from Saudi Arabia, at least most of them. They attacked us just as we were attacked at Pearl Harbor. The only difference is we dropped the big boy, as we have witnessed in the movie Oppenheimer, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, taking out 600,000 women and children. We didn't do anything with Saudi Arabia. We go there, sit in those lofty palaces with our hands and legs crossed in respect. While the Muslims, like a herd of sheep, like we say it's infected, are looked upon and intentionally displayed as terrorists or an outside force. That is not true. The Muslims work very hard all over the world, just as the Americans or the white guys or the Christians or the Hindus or the Jews or anybody else. We go out every morning, we work hard, we try to get our children better education, better life, eat 3 meals a day, and pay our taxes, pay our dues. We serve in the military, we serve in government. With normal people, but not projected so, because when you watch Jake Tapper or senior journalists like Wolf Blitzer, they go to the protest or they go to Dearborn, for example, and they take the clip of a meeting of angry Arabs where they say death to America, and they show that on TV. Whose purpose are they serving? First of all, those that said death to America are wrong, but understand their anger. What would the anger be of Americans, Texans, New Yorkers, or anybody have they known that 48,000 Americans live in Costa Rica and 15,000 of their women have been raped by advancing forces? The Muslims are, let me tell you, we work hand in hand with the Jewish people, with the Christians. We regard them as our brothers. We truly regard them as our brothers. I have written a book called The Abrahamic Faith long before Gaza ever started. My children went to Christian schools. We believe in Christianity and Judaism as much as we believe in our own faith. We're direct descendants of these two religions. We don't differ. Abrahamic faith means that Prophet Abraham, through him, came down these religions. In my book, The Abrahamic Faith, which I started to write in 2016 and completed in 2021, and I read the Torah and I read the Gospels, we believe that they are just people like us. They are our friends. They're normal people. There are good and bad people everywhere. In the Islamic faith, in Christianity, the guy who was involved in the Oklahoma City bombing, Timothy McVeigh, he was a Christian. Does that make all the Christians bad? Absolutely not. The other day, in a TV program, a senator, I'm not going to name him, but he was telling the protesters in New York, in Columbia, oh, go find the library and read about the Holocaust. I have news for that senator. We know what happened in the Holocaust. The Nazis did it. The Muslims did not. It was terrible what happened. Should never have happened. Should never happen again. It was the crime of maybe several centuries. I have been to Treblinka, Auschwitz, Dachau, Sobibor. I've read books. Exodus Revisited, Topaz, Leon Uris. It was wrong what happened. The world condemns it. Let me go a step further. The decent Muslims overall, and there are bad people everywhere, I agree, but accept that there are bad people amongst you too. You don't see, since there is no representation of a Muslim channel, this probably is the first, you don't see Muslims telling people of the Judaic faith, why go to the Holocaust? How long are we going to use the Holocaust, which happened 90 years back? I mean, Simon Wiesenthal centers still exist. After 90 years, you're looking for Nazis? Do you really think they exist? What, they were 2 years old and they're Nazis? What happens if people start to say, why not travel back in history and see who are the people who went to the governor in Bethlehem to have Jesus Christ crucified? Why not go there and target that faith? That is history. It's recorded history. They were standing right there when Jesus was being crucified, when Mother Mary was standing right next to everyone. Why don't we start there? But that is not what we should be looking for. We should be looking for interfaith, harmony, respect. Israel is a country that some have said should be eliminated. Absolutely not. The Jewish people deserve Israel. They have a right, but coexist because 22% Muslims live in Israel. Palestine was taken away from the Palestinians. Whoever came up with the two-state solution was saying the right thing. Believe in it. Aim for it. Yes, we do not believe in the Netanyahu government, but that doesn't believe we are against people of the Judaic faith. We're not. Look at the people protesting in Israel. They are calling Netanyahu as the prime minister. The man has killed 40,000 innocent civilians. If that is not the signs of a mass murder, tell me what it is. We have an organization called the United Nations. What a joke that organization has become. Because the 5 permanent members have the power to veto. So one of them vetoes, nothing gets passed. That's it. You can go sit there, have coffee, enjoy the air-conditioned environment, be treated like a VIP, but you get nothing achieved. Long term, we are heading for disaster. This is a recipe for disaster. That's exactly what Hitler did. if you watch the program called The World at War, which is real-time footage of exactly what happened, and you see the first few episodes, you will see that the Germans used to line up outside the restaurant kitchen, and whatever garbage or leftover was thrown in there in the garbage, they used to eat from it. That's what was happening, and that's what Hitler promoted, Germany for Germans, which later on, through the first propaganda minister, Goebbels, he was able to communicate to the entire people of Germany that the people behind all of this carnage, all of this poverty, are the people from the Judaic faith. Gestapo was formed. Himmler came into action. And we saw, painfully, the world saw what happened to innocent women and children, exterminated in gas chambers. We do not want to go through that again. Somebody somewhere is going to exploit this. In general, the Muslims do not want that. Will there be bad people? Absolutely. Are we providing the fuel for that fire? I think so. Because when you hear 15,000 daughters and mothers have been raped in front of their own children, you don't feel good about it. Islam is a religion of peace. The 50 countries don't say anything about it. The other day, a friend of mine asked me, why are your 50 representative countries quiet? Because they do not reflect the sentiments of the people of that country. They are political, they are kingdoms who are running their governments, their people, because that's what is being dictated to them. Whether it is through Tony Blinken or Joe Biden or whoever it is, that is what being dictated. And to save their own butt, they are complying with it. Just keep quiet. Don't say anything. But if you go to the people of those countries, they're angry. They're hurting. I am hurting. This ITN news network is a non-profit organization. The whole concept is to put out the truth, because there is a higher force that I believe in, a lot of Muslims believe in, a lot of Christians believe in, a lot of people from Judaic faith believe in. It will be followed by episode 2, 3, 4 and onwards. In the next episode, we shall be talking about the politics in the United States. I am not into this for financial reasons. I'm hurting and I'm a believer. And just like all of you, I believe that I shall be meeting my Maker someday. But when I walk that walk, I should be able to tell him, my Maker, that I made an effort. I tried to follow Prophet Muhammad because he was a man of peace. So was Jesus, so was Moses, so was Joseph, so was Isaac, so was Ishmael, Jacob, Noah. Together we can make that difference. If every morning we wake up and we say we are going to try to be positive, this is the only mission of Islamic Television Network. May God bless humanity. May God give us the eyes and vision to serve each other, to be righteous, as the book says, to be righteous. Thank you.